Hi guys, this is Mia from Mima Design Laser Files, and today I'll show you how to assemble these new Valentine ornaments, tags, magnets. The files includes a version of a big size with a hanger and a round back. Also it includes mini versions, which I truly adore. They are so cute. Both sizes includes text, Happy Valentine's Day and I love you. And they also includes two types of spinners or wheels. You have My Dear Valentine, you're so sweet, you're beautiful, you're one of a kind, you're truly special, you belong with me, love, hugs, kisses from your Valentine. This can be replaced with a name instead. I actually did this one for my husband with love, hugs and kisses, Mia. This is the bigger version. Also, you got a more generic kind. You're sweet, you're kind, you're special, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're caring, I love you. So these are perfect for vendors market, and actually I cut all three of these in 9 minutes. The text is all scored, so it can't be engraved. If you don't know how to score, check my blog post on allstarsdesign.com, where I told a lot about how to score and how it will save you a bunch of time. I didn't make a painting tutorial for these. These are all pre-painted, made from poplar plywood. But I'll show you the techniques in another tutorial if I have the time, because I think these string hearts are going to be on more of my files. I love this design. But for assembling, you want to make sure, once you've cut your file, this is 4 layers and it will look something like this once it's cut. Don't throw away this inner piece. You could keep the inner cutout hearts to sell on, I do a lot of auctions and such, or you could save them for another project, maybe even layer them. That's up to you. But anyway, once you've cut your file, make sure you sand the wheel on both sides. Don't sand the inner part. Sand the ornaments, especially the ones that are having the wheel in between, because the smoother this is, the smoother it will be when it glides, and it won't make a nauseous sound. So, with that said, you take your wheel, place it on the back, and you take this guy, and you could just glue it down, but once you've glued it, you want to make a little extra additional space, so the wheel will glide better. So I'm using staples. This is a stapler from my hardware shop in Sicily, but you can find these on Amazon, your own hardware stores, everywhere. So if you don't own one of these, I truly recommend it, because it's fast, it's easy, and you'll see how in a bit. So attach or lay the wheel down to your board. Add just a tiny drop of glue. I'm using super glue for this one. I usually do wood glue, but since this is a tutorial, I want it to be fast. So make sure that it's somewhere in the middle and that the wheel is aligned to this edge. And once you have it, put a few staples in. The staples is not for hold, though it's a bonus, it's for lifting up the wood just a tiny bit. I don't know if you can see it. But once I have this, this will have a little bit of distance and the wheel will slide better. So for this 4-layered version, I would suggest that you glue this part on top first. That would make it a little bit easier to align. So you want to align the hearts as well as the edges. Let's see if I can do that. Let's hold it down. And now that I have my front, I'll align the hearts to the hanger. If I'm using the magnet version, there's no hanger to align it to, so you just place it. But for this one, I know that super glue is not enough, so I'll make it the opposite way. I'll use a bit of wood glue. This is from Vinaville, Italian brand. We just want to add some glue to the center and on top of the staples. Don't put too much, because if you get glue on the wheel, it won't go anywhere. Because I want this to dry super fast, I'll just add a few drops of super glue. And again, make sure that it doesn't run over the edge and get stuck. So align it with the hanger at the sides. This is 4mm plywood, so my ornament is rather thick. But if you're using 1/8 inch, the thickness will be around this with 4 layers. So once you have it in place, you take some clamps and clamp it down. And you have the little heart for the lever. And you'll just place it, I'm measuring it. Make sure that you don't come too close to the edge, because if it's a little bit crooked, you might have some difficulties with spinning the wheel. But that's pretty much it. So I'll just wait for this one to dry. And I'll show you the magnet. And since these are so tiny, I don't really use anything else than my super glue for these. So place it on the back. Put in the inner part. Make sure that you have it in place. And I'll just punch this right in. It wasn't really centered, but that's okay. So, and the same for this front. Glue the hearts on the blank back first. especially if you use fast drying glue, because otherwise you might end up getting it wrong and you can't really part them from each other. Like that. You could use 3M tape, etc., but I swear to wood glue because it allows me to move and adjust layered things. I know it takes longer to dry, but I'm okay with that because I'm preventing a lot of screw-ups. So now that this is in place, I'll still take a little bit of wood glue. Especially on top of my clamp. And this is the magnet, so you don't have to worry too much about aligning the heart. Just worry about aligning the edges. Like that. And again, use clamps to keep it in place. And I could add my tiny lever heart as well. I have to wait with my text till I'm sure it's dry. There you go. And instead of showing you how to assemble these one more time, I'll talk a little about the finishing I made instead. So, oh, I could say that once this is done, you glue magnets on it. If you don't have a square or rectangular magnet and you use round like me, I would suggest that you place one in the top and one in the bottom, because that way when it's sitting on the fridge you can move it. I'll show you. I have the one I made yesterday right here. So I placed top button because when it's under the fridge it won't move and you can slide it while it's still hanging on it. I had a version where I only had a center magnet and the whole magnet was spinning, so just a suggestion. I'm Danish, so I make a little bit of screw ups, sorry. So, to tell a little more about the finishing I made on these, I used chalk paint from Fleur for the back of the big one here. The front is stained and the edges I painted with metallic markers. My metallic markers are from Amazon, pretty cheap. They have a dual tip, so they have a dot in one end and a tip in the other end. And I think these guys do an amazing job. For the colored parts, like the wheel, I used acrylic paint markers. These are also from Amazon. And they are dual tip, but they are dual color. I accidentally thought that they had the dots and the fine tip, but they actually have 72 colors and comes with 36 pens. And that's awesome because they kind of mix in both ends. So it makes painting and finding colors that works well together way easier. So again, these are also from Amazon. And last but not least, for the glitter, I have this. It's Italian Sunlux Colory Glitter. It's glue with glitter in it. So I just took a regular paintbrush and wiped it over. This is so easy. I bought these for my son because he likes to paint and add glitter to them. But I had to buy some for myself as well, because you can add glitter on, if you paint it with watercolor, you can add glitter to it and it won't mess with the colors. It's amazing. So if you can find these, I really recommend these. Pretty plain colors, but that's okay. So I think that's about it. The back on this one was painted exclusively with metallic markers. And this back was chalk paint. And I actually made this one yesterday. It's also my acrylic markers, and they do so well when you're wiping over scored text, because you can paint it without getting them stuck inside the text. So once your ornaments, magnets, whatever are dry, you just take your lever, give it a nice turn, and that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to know or learn more about my painting techniques, you could watch some of my other videos on YouTube or join my Facebook helping group. It's called Laser Up with Mimo Design Laser Files. And pop in some questions. I'm always happy to answer and teach away from everything I do and make. So thanks for watching. See you soon.